Hey, Islam family, peace and love. I want to go in really quick today on basically why people have issues with A4V or accepted for value. It's a couple main reasons. Now, understanding discharge, and if you've been through my channel, I go over a lot of different things with this subject and this topic. And in my consultations, I get the most questions. Well, I won't say I get the most questions about A4V, but about discharge in general. And I realized that I've been pointing more people to this same video that I did. It's called Discharge in Debt versus Paying Bills. I'll see if I can edit in somewhere here or something like that. I'm not too good with those kind of things yet. I'm still working on it. But basically in that video, Discharge in Debt versus Paying Bills, I break down the 3 different factors to discharge. And this is dealing with any discharge of any type. So accepted for value would be kind of in that lane. So it's 2 main reasons that I say that people basically are unsuccessful with the A4V, accepted for value process. The first off is you're just doing it. You heard about something, someone told you something, found a little something on the internet that said, hey, if I write on this coupon or remittance and send it back, that'll discharge the debt. It's not that simple. That's the main reason people are not getting success, having success with that process. The second reason, basically, and this is all my conjecture and to my understanding, so I'm not going to put this out for everyone, but what I will say is the second reason is because I've never seen it work. And that goes more into the fact that when you're discharging debt, you got to realize when you're dealing with these private corporations or public corporations, not everyone can accept a private instrument. And writing on the remittance, the coupon, trying to convert that document into a different type of commercial instrument and then expecting acceptance is just kind of weird, just to be totally honest. In commerce, these people are used to dealing with actual commercial instruments, bonds, international bills of exchange, money orders, public or private, things of that sort. So I'm gonna go back to that video and I'll be real brief about it. But it's 3 basic things I break down in that video. Basically like 3 different statuses that you need to understand when dealing with discharging debt. First off, it's your personal status. So like I was saying, people are just doing it. They're not correcting their personal status. They're not getting full faith and credit on their birth certificate and then claiming it. Because you have to do both. Don't get it twisted. Before you claim it, you actually don't have full rights to that full faith and credit. No one else has rights to it. It's in your name or in your estate's name. But until it's claimed, it's still held in trust by the government. So you haven't shown competence yet to come back and claim it. That's all that is. Number 2 is the status of the debt. Now, status of the debt, that goes into the definition of debt, because there's 2 definitions when you break it down, Black's Law Dictionary, financial banking dictionaries, or anywhere else. It's debt owed and debt due. So, excuse me. Debt owed is a contract. It can't be discharged, plain and simple. And y'all can go check the video out on that. Debt due is past due or mature debt. So mature debt is usually over 90 days past due. So when getting these remittances in the mail, people are usually sending off for what are considered bills, that debt owed. So it's not in that status where it can be discharged yet. It's not matured to where it's 90 days past due. So if your electricity, phone, or one of these other bills is 90 days past due, your shit is usually cut off already. They've terminated your services and they wrote it off in collections. So at that point you could discharge it, but you lose services. So it's not a feasible way to go about things when you're trying to take care of a bill. That's why I named that video Discharging Debt versus Paying Bills, one of the main reasons, because I go into that. But I don't want to get too far off into that. I want to go into the third status, and that is that's the status of the person receiving your private instrument. They have to be public, like IPO public, traded in public shares, stocks on the stock market. And if they're not able to accept these private instruments because they're not bound to HJR 192 like the government is. Now the government, they got to accept anything you give them. So there are less stipulations, let's say, on the government. So technically, if you were to write like an A4V out, for a government debt, yeah, it should work. Technically, theoretically. The thing is, I go off experience. And like I say, I've never seen accepted for values work. And I know a lot of Moors who are into discharge and discharge, on, I'm not going to say a regular basis, but a decent basis. Because people that really, really understand discharge don't abuse it. They use it when it's needed. And they understand commerce and that you have to make commerce flow by having a business. So it's a little bit more to it, than just basically, you're going to live off discharging and you don't need fiat at all. It just doesn't quite work like that, and, that's not really what I'm here to get into today, but I wanted to break this down because, like I say, I get a lot of questions and it's the same. My bad, fam. I ran out of space on my memory card, had to delete some things mid-video because it just stopped on me. But basically, people are having the same misunderstandings when it comes to discharge, A4V, and all of these things. People are oversimplifying it. So, more than just discharge in law in general. When situations come up, I did a post about this maybe yesterday, the day before, where, shit hit the fan and somebody's like, oh, Mo, all you got to do is, sure. When I hear that, no, run from that. When someone says all you have to do is making it simple when it comes to law, red flag and no star on it. Basically, it takes work. It takes study, research to understand what's going on and to do these things. Just jumping out there, throwing shit against the wall to see what sticks. It's fun at first, but it wastes a lot of time. So, if you're truly interested, these are things I teach. I have several videos on discharge and things of that sort where I go into this on my Ko-fi site because YouTube would take these videos down. I've had, I want to say like 6 videos taken down in the last 2 months. One of them yesterday, one like a week ago. So the type of information that I'm putting out is constantly being censored. So if you are able, I would say, come check out the Ko-fi site, get you a subscription and really learn what's going on. So I have another video and I'll see if I can put up, a screen for it or something. But basically it's part 1 of negotiable instruments, and this one is on my YouTube. It's free, where, I go into what is a negotiable instrument and all of that. And then the part 2 is on the Ko-fi site where I actually go down and show you negotiable instruments and how to do it. And I want to say I use different ones, and I have another one coming for that pretty soon too. So if that's something in you that you're interested in, I'm definitely gonna in the next week or so do another video or 2 on discharge and negotiable instruments, and actually going in and showing different types of negotiable instruments, how to use them, and also integrating cryptocurrency and discharging with crypto, because that's possible now. Texas, I want to say last year, but it might have been earlier this year, but I want to say it was last year for sure. But I have the documentation on it. But basically they have accepted what they call virtual currency, but cryptocurrency, when you read up on it, into the UCC, the Uniform Commercial Code. So basically cryptocurrency is as good as your private exemption or fiat, according to the UCC. Now it was first done in Texas that I know of, but the thing is, when you say uniform, that's universal. So they use the UCCs in England and South Africa and most modern nations that deal in commerce. So I'm pretty sure that your local state government, you know, the federal government, things of that sort, if you're trying to discharge with these things, it will go through as well. So basically, you know, I just want to put that out there, you know, going in on the accepted for value myth, because, you know, it's a technicality. Like, you know, everything in business is offering acceptance, but the thing is, I don't see too many businesses accepting this type of instrument. But there are other types of commercial instruments that are accepted all the time, you know, and there's definitely evidence of that on my Ko-fi site. So check it out when you get a chance. Peace and love, fam.